Hello and welcome back to what is probably now my last and final piece on the Plain Language Commission for Clear Standard English, rated Gold. And in closing all of my uploads, it should be clear that my discipline and specialism covers multiple industries and topics, most of which I will not label as technical jargon unless I have otherwise stated in the forms of mathematical arguments, in which cases I clearly identify the equations. Furthermore, this original piece I created was done so under a combination of factors, principles and techniques, and so in which case the word creation on my part is technically untrue, as would be the case for all others who quote-unquote create programs on computers, which I am doing here and have done so multiple times. And so to maintain integrity of speech and communication over unordered systems such as social media and other complex networks, the appropriate term for me to use relating to my style of visual programming falls under the more appropriate definition of manipulation, or the simulation of particles and pixels across the domain's grid space. And so when responding to questions relating to the work I produce such as this, I cannot comment beyond it only being an interest and hobby of mine, since the implications of it are not known for certain. However, given that I did specialize in fluid dynamics, my work as a consultant within the field remains unchanged, and so it should be remotely obvious how I'm able to wrap up in around 45 seconds from now, since the underlying themes behind all of my posts remains unchanged. And although I state it remains unchanged, some of you may well have noted that it does change, and this change occurs naturally over time, and sometimes not only naturally but as a result of external forces, which can impose itself on the system by applying pressure. Thus, depending on the size of the external force, may lead to a system override, where the isolated particle, for example, placed under pressure, is able to negate the impact of unwanted forces by placing it over time.
So yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for their patience, first and foremost, as I kind of had a lot on my mind over these past years. Essentially, I needed to get everything that was going on inside here and to just project it regardless of the outcome, and even thinking about the consequences, given that, again, in terms of kind of real consequences, there aren't really any, given that it's essentially just a child's plaything, and I needed to get it all out there, and with it now being out there, I don't really know what else to do after this, and maybe I kind of join forces with the sun, or carry on as I am.